Okay, welcome to the second part of video 9, and I just went ahead, and it took me a little while, but I got M. Night Shyamalan to somewhat fire projectiles onto the screen. So as you can see, he'll always fire to the left, then up, then down, then to the left, and then to the right. And then he should shoot one more time to the right, and then he'll start shooting up again. Okay, and I have this coded already, so I'll just show you the code and hopefully it'll work for you. You check the top of your program right now, and you should have these things. In clip 2, that's going to keep track of what bullet we're on. In tracker is going to track the current location of the projectile we're firing. In projectile tracker 2 allows you to shoot up to 500 shots and keep store of them. The X position of M. Night Shyamalan, the Y position of M. Night Shyamalan, because you have to fire the bullet where he's standing at, as well as this new variable int millisecond master, but then I called it tracker. Because one of the things that would happen is that when this program would run, he would immediately fire 1,000 shots and then crash the program. So I needed some way that after a certain amount of time, he fires a shot. So I based it off of milliseconds again, and after a certain amount of milliseconds, about a second or so, he fires a shot. So check this first. Make sure you have those variables. Okay, moving on to the main program. So where is it at? For drawing our boss, M. Night Shyamalan, make sure you have the sub boss Shyamalan running, and then you're drawing in, or I guess whatever your boss is called, and then you're drawing in your boss. And for the projectile for the boss, you're going to need the following code over here. Make sure you're launching your projectile program first. Then activate your tracker, starting it at 1. And then you're going to put it in a while loop, so it's going to run 50 times. Or I guess since we have 500 shots, let's do it 500 times. And one of the problems I ran into was, since this is a different tracker, be sure you have the 2 at the end of in projectile tracker. I might have accidentally done in projectile tracker in the first video, but that's keeping track of our characters bullets. So you need in projectile tracker 2 to track our own bullets. I'll just move through that slowly, make sure yours resembles it. Okay, and once you have that in place, your M. Night Shyamalan guy should already be running, but if it's not, this is the code that I used. And it just checks his position, and it tries to move him closer to our character, wherever our character is standing at. And for the launcher for M. Night Shyamalan, and this was the tricky part. This up here is brand new. The encounter starts at 1, and then pretty much we want to fire a shot every around 1,000 or so milliseconds. So I said if int millisecond master tracker is greater than 1,000, then store in the array the X position of M. Night Shyamalan and the Y position of M. Night Shyamalan, and then add 1 to the clip. So that it will always, this never goes back down to 0, so it always stores in new X coordinates for Shyamalan based on his location, and then new Y coordinates for Shyamalan based on his Y position. And then it'll add to that, and then it will reset the milliseconds back down to 0. So then it has to take a little bit of time before it can enter this if statement again and run the next clip or the next shot that you're taking. In order to get the up, down, left, right positions, I put in this line over here, which pretty much says do inclip to mod 5. So since we're adding 1 to inclip every single time, your answers you could get are 1 remainder 1, remainder 2, remainder 3, remainder 4, and remainder 0. So this can fire 5 unique shots. And I only needed 4 unique shots. That's why there's one like redundant shot. But like if I wanted it to shoot up, it would be 1, down, 2, left, 3, right, 4. But that's how I got it to work. I'm sure there's many other ways you could get it to work. But pretty much, if it is in 1,000 seconds or 1,000 milliseconds, just add 10 milliseconds to the tracker, and I track. That's about how much time it takes to run this once. This projectile launcher Shyamalan thing, 10 milliseconds. So it's going to add it until it reaches 1,000, and then run this. Okay, this line's not needed anymore. And here's what the projectile looks like. It's pretty much the same. Let me change this to 500 actually, and yeah. The only difference is since we need a remainder 0, I added the right command one more time, and I just changed the 4 to 0. If I did not do that, the Flappy Bird would just like stick to the screen. So like I'm going to disable that line and run the program, and you'll notice that, well, give it a second. Well, now he's not shooting anything. Or wait, now he is. Shoot stuff. Okay. It looks like it's just going a bit slower. I'm not sure if I slowed down the frame rate at all. Or maybe my computer's just lagging. It might be the software also. Takes a lot. But he's shooting, but you can see this bullet just standing here. So, and there's some weird thing going on here. I'm sure there's something I need to figure out there as well. But yeah, if you just enable this, then nothing will stick to the screen. Everything will fire in one location or another. So that. So take a look at this. Hopefully it all works. Before you move on to the final part, part 10, try to make sense of everything up to this point. Feel free to modify the code in bits and like just test things out so that when you finally develop your actual game, like you have a firm understanding or a relatively okay understanding of everything. Okay.